We spent the last 3 months searching for the best mala in Singapore. We made the pilgrimage to Chongqing to experience the best mala on the planet. But now, it's time to take it all back to the kitchen and make our very own mala. And I know what you might be thinking. Alderic, we had some crazy good mala this series. Can you even make something comparable? Normally I would say no, but I don't know. Ever since returning from Chongqing, I feel like something's changed. I feel like I'm not the same person anymore. Like I carry a piece of Chongqing with me. What, do you think that I was going off on some sentimental tangent? Ew, cringe. We got Cao Tian Jiao, we got green numbing peppercorns, red numbing peppercorns, we got the highest quality of hot pot base that I could find, we got douci, we got everything we need to revisit Chongqing, if only for 1 spoonful. So today we are making, surprise surprise, 辣子鸡 and mapo tofu. Let's get it guys. First, we are going to cut our chilies. I'm using a mix of Cao Tian Jiao that I got from Chongqing and some dried chilies that I got from Shengxiong. One of the biggest regrets that I have about this series is not really speaking on the type of chilies. Cao Tian Jiao, Tenglong Jiao, Jingtiao, Zidantou, etc. You use a blend depending on what you want to focus on, spiciness, fragrance or color. Today we are just using what we have. Anyway, shake it for the seeds to fall to the bottom and then remove those seeds. We are not really concerned about the spiciness of these seeds, it's just that it will make the dish look very untidy. We are also going to prepare some minced garlic, ginger, and spring onions, separating the green and white parts. On the stove side, we are rendering some lard for later, and we are also boiling some cubed up silken tofu in salted water for 10 minutes. And then, we are going to do what Singaporeans do when we are very sure of something. What? Butcher chicken? No, chop. As in confirm plus... never mind. I didn't mind chopping the pieces with bones a little bigger, but the boneless parts like the breast, I kept it to about 1 to 2 cm cubes. Season with light soy sauce, liaojiu, salt, white pepper and give it a good mix. Add a few tablespoons of cornstarch and mix it. This is to keep the seasoning within the meat. And then add some oil. This is to keep the chicken pieces from sticking to one another. Next, we are going to heat up some oil in a wok and pre-fry our chilies. This goes both ways. I want to wake the chili up a bit, but I also want the chili fragrance to go into the oil because I'll be using the same oil to deep fry the chicken. For the first fry, I'll go at a lower temperature, bringing the chicken to where you normally would for normal recipes. But as I repeated myself many times now, I really love that deep dark brown color with 辣子鸡. So I'm gonna crank up the temperature for a second fry until I reach something like this. Set all of that aside for later. I'm also gonna fry some minced pork for our mapo tofu, really trying to get some color on it. And then finally, all of our ingredients are prepped, we can begin cooking. It's very important to double check that you have everything you need before beginning, because both of these dishes go very quickly. You can't stop once you have started. We are going to do our mapo tofu first. In the combination of the previous chili oil and lard, we are going to fry up some minced garlic and ginger. To that, we are going to add some spicy toban jiang and stir it until the oil turns red. We are also going to add the white parts of the spring onions and some douci or fermented black beans. I'm trying to combine and cook it down like how they did at Chen's. Add some green and red numbing peppercorns. The green ones have a stronger lemony scent and are more numbing. The red ones are less numbing but have a stronger classic huajiao fragrance. Go with the type you like or skip it entirely. Whatever the case, the next step is to top it up with water. Carefully slide the tofu in, add back the fried minced pork, and mix in about 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce to adjust the color. Turn down the heat and let the tofu simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. You are not actually cooking anything at this point, it's just to let the tofu absorb the flavor. Next comes the hardest part of the recipe, gouqian, or thickening with starch. This is done by combining some cornstarch with water to make a cornstarch slurry and then adding that to the tofu. We are going to do this 3 times, using a thicker slurry after each round. So, for the first round, we start with a loose slurry, pour that in and very carefully stir it into the mapo tofu. Next, go in with a thicker slurry and then an even thicker slurry after that. You want to imagine putting on cold weather clothes for the mapo tofu. You want to wear a thin heat tech underlayer, then normal clothes, and then a thick jacket. With each coating, you're trying to wrap the previous layer. The starch is heat activated, so make sure you have the wok going and give the slurry enough time to heat up before checking on the resulting sauce consistency. After you are done, adjust for seasoning, get it into a bowl, top with more mincemeat, crispy lard, spring onions, a little more chili flakes, and then we are done. The 辣子鸡 on the other hand is more straightforward. Melt some hot pot base in the wok, add some minced garlic and ginger to freshen it up, add your numbing peppercorns, and top up some oil if necessary. You're trying to create an oily, flavorful sauce in which you'll use to coat your chicken. Toss, add back your chilies, add a splash of black vinegar from the side. You only want the fragrance of this, you don't actually want it to be sour. And then most importantly, you need to go in with a good amount of MSG. If there is one recipe in the world where MSG is canon, it is the 辣子鸡. To finish, garnish with some mahua. It's perfectly fine to use peanuts here, but we know better after coming back from Chongqing. Don't we, chat? We chat. We're also going to top up with some spring onions and sesame seeds. By the way, I checked, the price of spring onions is still about the same, so we can be quite generous with it. Mix everything in, get it on a plate, and then we are done. Man, I love cooking Chinese cuisine. You have your dishes coming hot and fresh off the wok. Everything smells great, you arm yourself with a bowl of white rice. But I'm sure you're all wondering, how does it taste? I will say that amongst everything I've ever made in the epilogue of a series, this is the most not bad one, especially the 辣子鸡. The dark brown flavour of the chicken does so much, and I was just carried by the ingredients from Chongqing. I also managed to make the mapo tofu rather meaty in terms of flavour, which was what I was going for after eating at Ba Shu Yan Yi. The shape of the tofu was also preserved rather well in my opinion. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied. Normally, I will be a little cheeky and make some improvisations to the dish because I value having fun cooking over actually making a good dish. But with these two dishes, there is nothing I would change. They are amazing, just the way they are. The recipe, that is. The execution, not so much. I kinda bombed the 勾芡 step. You can see that the gravy is not binded properly and it's just seeping through the rice, nor is it coating the tofu. Normally, 勾芡 is already a pretty tricky procedure. With mapo tofu, you have to do it 3 times and work it in without destroying the texture of the tofu. It was not something I could do without practice. Practice that I would hopefully have had by the next time in Season 2 of The Best Mala. Which brings us to the final verdict of the series. Alderic gets 1 plate. I can't see myself leaving the house for this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I wish you guys a Merry Christmas. Next week, for the last video of the year, we are revisiting all of the series winners of 2024 to check if they are still as good. I'm very excited about that. But for now, that's all I have for you guys this time. I'll see you on the next video. Bye!